Hello everybody, thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing if you are. So far things are going well. I've gone part-time at my corporate job and I picked up a part-time job as a delivery driver for a cannabis company. I'm also doing some pet sitting through Rover. So yes, if you've been watching my videos, you will know that I repeat myself a lot, but as of this month of this year, I've transitioned from a full-time status to a part-time status at my corporate job. I'm still doing what I was doing last year, but just doing a little less of it every week. I get 2 days off a week plus the weekend, so I got my 4-day weekends that I've been wanting. But because I'm working less, of course my income has decreased. To be able to continue to pay rent, buy food, and other human essentials for myself, I took up a part-time job delivering cannabis. As a part-time delivery driver, my shifts are about 5 hours each. I'm working on the days where I'm not working at my corporate job. I make California's minimum wage as my starting salary, which is $15.50 an hour. And I guess like with most part-time jobs, I do not get benefits from the company. So yeah, I'm an independent contractor now. I make minimum wage, but I also get tips, which are decent. Well, depends on the customers, but most of the time the tips are pretty decent. So after working a 5-hour shift, all my tips have come to about maybe like $20 to $40 or $50 after a night. Not bad. So yeah, I guess now I'd say my career has leaned more into customer service, which I know can be a mixed bag, but so far I haven't had to deal with any irate customers. No one's been angry or yelled at me. But if I do this for long enough, it's gonna happen at least once. I wonder who it will be. So yeah, I have 2 jobs now. Well, I guess maybe 3 if you count Rover. So far I'd say that's probably my favorite source of income. I've just started, but like I haven't gotten that many bookings yet. But the ones that I've only gotten 1. I was taking care of someone's cat. They brought her over to my apartment for me to watch her while they were moving apartments. So I got to take care of a cat for a night, and it was so cute. I don't have any cats or dogs of my own, so it's kind of nice to have an animal in the apartment every now and then. Eventually, maybe I will get my own pets, but for now I don't mind opening up my apartment for other people's pets to come in, and I get paid to play with them and feed them. It does not pay very much at all. For boarding a cat for a night was like, after Rover takes her cut, I got $18. For dogs, it's usually like $30. I don't know, I'll have to check. It's not much, but it's fun. And it's not that stressful. Like all I have to do is play with the dog, take it out for bathroom breaks, feed it, keep it company. Easy. Why is it that the highest paying jobs stress me out to no end, and the lowest paying jobs are much more fun? That's something I've been thinking about a lot recently after having taken some time back from working in a corporate office. I used to be working there like 40 plus hours a week, 5 days a week. I'm turning 30 in a couple of weeks. Oh my God.
I'm turning 30.
So yeah, I've been thinking a lot about careers and life in general and where I want my life to go from now. Still kind of figuring it out, but I think I'm getting closer. You know, I feel like I needed to take care of my work life to be happier, because that was always the one part of my life where I felt like I was struggling. I guess struggling isn't the right word, because I've always been told, at least by my employers, that I was doing a good job and they appreciated my help with everything. But inside, I was not fulfilled. And so I guess internally struggling with my job, trying to find happiness in it. You know, I thought that if I got a good job that paid a lot and gave me great benefits and a flexible schedule and cell phone reimbursement and a 401k, paid time off and all that other shit, then I thought maybe that's the peak of happiness. Maybe that's the pinnacle of success that I should be striving for. But after having that job for a while and doing the work, I just found myself becoming more and more stressed out and feeling like I wasn't able to handle the stress very well, to the point where I was crying because of just feeling overloaded with a lot of work that I didn't really care about, let's be honest. It just made me really cynical, made me not care about the job, not caring if I got fired. I was waking up every day just knowing that I would have to work on an overwhelming amount of projects to make someone else happy, and it wasn't making me happy. You know, having all these thoughts too is also what prompted me wanting to revive my channel and talk about all this stuff with you guys, because, well, I was inspired by hearing other people's stories on YouTube, hearing them share their thoughts and feelings about working in corporate life and why they quit. And then I thought I would love to quit, but I can't, because I've been a graphic designer for 7 or 8 years now. And so if I'm not doing that, what am I gonna do? I have to make money because that's like the law, I guess. It's like if I don't have a job, then I'm just a useless piece of shit. So I tried pursuing financial independence and got on with the whole FIRE movement. But then I realized that that would mean staying in a job that I don't like, just so I can make a lot of money and save it and invest it, and then maybe like 10 years from now, then I would be able to quit. But then the thought of having to stay in a job I don't like for 10 more years was just very horrific for me. I realized, I'm probably always gonna have to work. Even if I was saving most of my income every month, I would still have to work like 10 or 20 years before I would be able to retire and not work at all. But I think I do want to work. I don't think I want to get to the point where I'm not working entirely, because I like to keep myself busy. Otherwise, I'm just gonna, be on the couch and watch TV and smoke a lot of weed. Although that would be nice, I don't think I'm ready to do that full time. Maybe when I'm like 70. If I live for that long, maybe that's what I'll do for the rest of my life. But now, while I'm young and able-bodied, I need to find work that will bring me soul-nurturing fulfillment. Now I'm just coming to terms with what I want out of life and what I want in my career, and it's not what I've been doing for so long. Oh yeah, so coming back to the main point of, I guess, what I wanted to make this video about. So it's only been a couple of weeks since I started making deliveries and providing pet care through Rover, and already I feel like 10 times happier working those jobs than the few years where I was working this like high status design corporate job. It really speaks to how like a job has to be more than its pay or something. I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot more happiness to be found in like simple, honest, tedious work. This is all my opinion and from my experience and my perspective, by the way. You may agree, you may not agree. That's what the comments are for. You can let me know. You can voice your opinion there. I'll be more than happy to read them. I don't know. I found maybe it's just the type of person I am, and I'm just realizing this now. After like 8 years of working in the real world, I realized maybe I'm just better cut out for these simple, tedious service jobs. They don't pay very much, but if I collect enough of them and work for companies that will give me flexibility in my schedule, then the money will just keep coming in. As long as I stay optimistic and open and honest with my employers and my clients, I think it'll work out. God, I hope so. Although I'm still at my corporate job now, 3 days a week, I guess I could always go back to that if none of this works out. But at this point, I'm pretty confident that I can make it work. And eventually, I think I'll be able to leave my corporate job and still make enough to keep myself alive. Because I guess I need to be alive. I kind of regret not writing a script for this, because sometimes I say something, sometimes I'll start a sentence and I don't really know how to finish it.
And I don't even know where it's going. I just hope I find it along the way.
I don't know. This is why I need to write things down so that I can organize my thoughts and get it in a cohesive narrative for you all. So forgive me. I'm sorry. The next video, I hope, will be better. I mentioned this in my last video, but I said I was working on a video that would take probably longer to make. It's definitely not this one, don't worry. The longer form video I'm talking about will be specifically about working and living in LA. What I've learned from living here for almost 4 years. Holy shit. Sorry, my voice is starting to go. Happens when I talk for too long. So yeah, it'll be about what it's like to live and work in Los Angeles, this great big city. It drew me in, and now I can't wait to leave. You may be thinking, if you're so unhappy with your job as a designer, then why don't you just quit and do something else or go back to school? All that takes a lot of time and money, which I can't afford. Well, I guess I could go live at my parents' house in Texas while I sort things out, and maybe they would even help me out financially. But I was raised to be very independent, and so I like to just see what I can do on my own, even if it means dipping into my savings. So far, I haven't had to spend a lot of my savings doing all this. I mean, I would like to get a new computer so I can edit videos faster. My old 2015 MacBook is, I think, on its last legs, and that's been a hindrance to me making more videos and spending more time on them, because I think video editing really takes a toll on my computer. Maybe a new camera too. I'm using a GoPro, which is not ideal for this at all, because it's kind of just sitting here and it overheats after a while, so I better wrap up this video soon before it gets too hot. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know, I feel like I'm in a better place. I feel like I have more energy. Wednesdays are like my new Fridays. I look forward to them every week. And then like Thursday through Sunday, I'm basically just doing whatever I want. During the night, I have my delivery driving shifts, but for those, all I have to do is go to the company's depot, pick up some orders, and then disperse them throughout the city. And I'm given a mapped out route of where I need to go and like in what order I need to drop off the orders. So that makes it easy. So all I have to do is drive and listen to music. And that job will give me customer service experience for if I want to do some other kind of job. And I'm also still working on becoming a CMSP instructor. I've already started the paperwork for that. I got my fingerprints done. They got sent to the FBI. They got to do a background check, and I got to submit an application to the coordinator at the school where I'm going to be potentially teaching. We'll see how that goes. I'm in touch with the coordinator at a school that I've been looking into. So that guy's helping me out. I'm just taking care of the paperwork, and hopefully we'll get scheduled for the classes I need to take. I need to do first aid and CPR training. I need to take an intermediate total control course as a student. It's part of the training for becoming an instructor. So we'll get that sorted out, hopefully in the next month or so. Because I was thinking once I get certified as an instructor and I'm able to start teaching classes, then I think maybe that'll be the time when I start looking to quit my corporate job, because I'll be juggling instructing, delivery driving, rover, and designing. And I feel like I'm going to have to cut one, and the one that I cut will be the one that's the least fulfilling to me, and that is designing. Do I regret becoming a designer? No, because then I never would have found out that it's not right for me. I feel like I learn better by doing. Even when it doesn't work out, it's still better to have experienced it and find that out for myself than to never have experienced it and always be wondering, should I have become a designer? And the answer is clearly yes, but not for the rest of my life. And I know there are people who are truly passionate about design, and that's their dream career. I envy those people. I thought I was one of them. I thought I could make it work, but it just saddened me. When I was in college, and when I would envision what I want my life to be like in 10 years from then, I imagined myself sitting in like some trendy apartment in Soho, New York, and being like a top designer at my company. But thinking about that from the perspective I have now, that sounds like a nightmare. If there's anything from the economics education I have that I've retained, it's that everything has an opportunity cost. An opportunity cost is a trade-off, something you're giving up in favor of something else. So from my perspective now, the opportunity cost of working a high-status, high-paying job at a big, well-off company that can pay its employees well, it can supply them with plenty of benefits and 401ks and snacks in the cafe, work events for the employees, world-class facilities. So the opportunity cost of working a job that supplies you with all that is you have to exchange quite a bit of your time to be able to enjoy those perks that your company is offering you. They provide you with all sorts of insurance plans. You're the manpower that makes everything work. So of course they're going to spend money to take care of you. And that makes you feel good and safe and secure, but at the same time, you're giving up a big chunk of your personal life and putting it into the company. I mean, hell, if you're working full-time somewhere, it's usually you're working Monday through Friday, at least 8 hours a day. I know people who will continue to send emails and have meetings during the weekends, and I'm just sitting here thinking, that's really not the life I want. Sure, I would be able to afford a big house and an expensive car and designer clothes and, top-of-the-line this and designer exclusive shit over here, but none of that stuff is what I've been striving for in my life. At one point, maybe it was, but I always got more joy finding unique pieces of clothing at Salvation Army or seeing how long I can make my car last before it dies. I always thought it was more impressive to see how much people can save money. Both of my sisters, for example, are very frugal and smart with their money, and I'm always impressed when they're able to find a good deal on a flight or take advantage of a sale for something. And they both make really great food at home as opposed to buying a lot of processed food or fast food. And I'd say those are the goals I want to strive for. Being able to take care of myself and save money for things that I think will be more important than a big expensive house. Like maybe just a moderate 2 or 3 bedroom house somewhere in a city where I can afford it. Or having money for a kid's college fund. I mean, I still don't know if I'm going to have kids of my own, maybe. Or maybe my sister will have a kid and I want to be a supportive aunt. So I want to have money for things like that, for the kids' future. For emergencies too, like if my car dies sooner than I expected and I still have this delivery job, obviously I would need a car, so I want to be able to afford those kinds of emergency expenses. And plus having expensive items in my house just gives me anxiety because I'd always be paranoid if it's going to get damaged or stolen. Where's the joy in that? oh, sure, I have this $5,000 Louis Vuitton purse or whatever, or however the fuck how much they cost. And then, I don't know, someone jacks it or it gets stained or something. And I feel like these big designer brands, they cheap out on the labor as time goes on. And is it that valuable anymore? Like, if these big designer companies are still exploiting cheap labor in Asia or other parts of the world, then what's the point of supporting these brands? Like, really just so I can have clothes that have recognizable logos? I think I'll wrap this up. So that was my little rant for today. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an update on how I'm doing career-wise. Going part-time at my corporate designer job was like one of the best decisions I've made in my career so far. Like, yeah, I'm essentially phasing myself out of my own job, but it's for the pursuit of happiness. No one told me how to do this. I didn't read this in a book or online. I'm kind of just winging it, which I guess is what you do as an adult. There's no set plan for anything, really. You kind of just roll with the punches. My job was punching me in the face for years, and I decided it was time to stop. So that's where I am now. I have a shift tonight making deliveries, and I'm actually looking forward to it. It's been a long time since I was actually looking forward to going to work, and my job is just driving around the city, dropping off deliveries. I wouldn't say that's my dream job, but when I was about 4 years old, my sister asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I told her I wanted to be a taxi driver. Because I was 4 years old, I thought driving was like the coolest thing in the world, and I thought that as a taxi driver, you get a lot of money. I mean, most of your money comes from tips, so maybe that was my impression. Like, oh, like people are always handing you cash, so it must be a lucrative gig. I've never been a taxi driver. I've never driven for Uber or anything, so I don't know how much they actually make. I feel like it can't be that much, but I do think people find enjoyment out of driving. And I think it's because when you're driving, you get to clear your mind of anything other than the road. You're in your car, you get to listen to music or podcasts or audiobooks. You get familiar with your city by driving around it for so much, and you get to meet new people. So there are obvious benefits to a job like that. Why did I even bother going to college if I was just going to be a driver? Obviously, I didn't think I was going to pursue driving as a career. For real. It's not even a career, it's just a job. But it's a job that I enjoy. So what was this video about? I don't know. So yeah, I gotta wrap this up. My camera turned itself off because it got too hot. That happens with GoPros. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing and liking this video if you did, and I'll see you next time. Bye.